Hello everyone, welcome to uLearn Education Online channel. In the transport layer, we have seen two protocols. Those are User Datagram Protocol UDP and Transmission Control Protocol TCP. In the previous video, we have seen the concept related to the TCP and also the TCP header. In today's video, we are going to see the topic UDP and where the UDP is used, and also we will discuss about the UDP header. Firstly, we know that the TCP is a connection oriented protocol. It means whenever a sender wants to send the data to the receiver, first it establish a connection and thereafter the data is transmitted. But here in UDP, it is connectionless. That is, it means without making the connection, the sender simply sends the data to the receiver. Here we are calling that as a payload, which is nothing but a pure data, and here along with the pure data, an UDP header is added and then it is transferred to the receiver. So finally we can say that the UDP is a connectionless protocol. And also, because of this connectionless protocol, the UDP is unreliable. It means if one or more packets are lost while sending the data, UDP doesn't care that loss. Since in UDP, no ordering is present while multiple number of packets are transmitted, as the UDP header does not have the sequence number. So if you see the UDP header diagram, it consists of only 4 blocks, each of 16 bit. So it doesn't have any sequence number. That's why without proper ordering, the UDP will send multiple number of packets to the receiver irrespective of loss present in the transmission of packets. Now let us see what is the size of UDP header. Here the size of an UDP header is 8 bytes and it is fixed. So 8 byte means totally how many bits? It is 8 into 8, nothing but 64 bits. Now let us see what are the parts or what is the list present here. Now here, as same as TCP header, the UDP header consists of source port and destination port. It means it will provide an end-to-end delivery, and also the size of source port and destination port each having 16 bits. Since each having 16 bits, totally how many number of ports will be present or port numbers will be present? It is 2 power 16 and its range is 0 to 65535. Okay, in that range from 0 to 1023 port numbers are used for standard port numbers, whereas from 1024 to 65535 those port numbers are used for sending or transmitting the data to the receiver. So this is about the source port and the destination port. Okay, since the source port and destination port is having a 16 bits, I can say that the range is 0 to 65535. Okay, it is also a byte streaming protocol, same as TCP. Now if you consider the header length, it is 16 bits. Now what is the total size of header length? It is 2 power 16. So the range is 0 to 65535. Okay, so finally I can say that the maximum size of segment of a header length will be 65535 in the UDP. Here in this header length, along with the data, this UDP header information will also be transmitted. Since the UDP header information is of size 8 byte and the data we are calling it technically as payload, here the size of header is 8 byte, so the payload or data size should be 65527 byte. Therefore, totally the header length will be equal to 65535. So in this way, the header length range is fixed, but the data size will be varied. Okay, now let us see the checksum. Here, this checksum is used for error control or error detection. Now let us see how to calculate the value of checksum. So if you see, the checksum is defined as summation of UDP header and UDP data and the pseudo header of IP. Here, the UDP header length value should be taken in order to calculate the checksum value. Okay. And UDP data, we know that it is a payload and it is technically defined by the user. And here, this pseudo header of IP. Okay. So, this pseudo header of IP is nothing but in network layer we use an IP header. Okay. In IP header we use the IP address of source port, destination port, and also the TCP upper layer protocol, in which these values will remain constant throughout the data processing. Now, what do you mean by the data processing? It is nothing but the transmission of data from the sender to the receiver. Okay. So, after substituting these values, we will find out what is the value of checksum, and we can call this checksum value as like unique value or hash value. This unique hash value is transmitted with the data. So, whenever the receiver receives the data and the hash value, now receiver again calculates its checksum. Okay, if the receiver calculate checksum is matched with the value of checksum given by the sender, then there is no error in the data. If the receiver checksum value, that is calculated checksum value, and the sender checksum value is not matched, then the receiver indicates that there is some error in the data. Here, in user datagram protocol, checksum field is optional. Why? As we know that the UDP is unreliable and the connectionless protocol. Okay. So, this is all about the user datagram protocol and the fields that are present in UDP header. Thank you so much for watching our videos. If you have any doubts, please present the doubts in the comment section and keep supporting our channel. Thank you.